John Draws coming to you again here from Macomb Square Music. At my recent sale, and other times too, I've had a lot of requests to do some basic, cigar box guitar lessons. People who are buying these are saying, well, can you give me lessons? And I'm like, yes, I do teach lessons. But in this case, my sale was in Burlington, Iowa, which is an hour and a half from the store here in Macomb. People aren't going to travel an hour and a half for lessons. I said, well, do you have online lessons? I said, well, I do post videos online. And so now I'm thinking about putting some more lessons, besides just me playing some songs for fun, which I love doing. I'm going to do some lessons here. Just wanted to just go over some very basic stuff about the cigar box guitar. Now the ones that I make and sell are tuned to D-A-D. D is the low note, A is a fifth above that, and the other D is an octave above the low one. It's a fourth above the D. That's what we call an open chord or a power chord. There's no third in that chord. F or F sharp would be the third of the chord. There's no F or F sharp in there. So it's pretty basic. One of the advantages of that is it kind of can't be wrong. If I'm playing a D chord, the D major or D minor, well, it's kind of neither. Depending on the song, it's going to sound like major or minor, depending on the other notes in the song. That's true for all the chords I play on here. Now, this kind of guitar has no frets on it, the little bars that go across. Usually that's how you stop the string. You push the string down and, that changes the length of the string that's vibrating. Right now it vibrates from here. It's called the bridge. And that's called the nut. And mine are both just bolts. This is a headless bolt, and this is just a regular bolt sitting there. But the string vibrates from there to there. If I had a fret and I pushed that string down, it would stop at the fret, making the string effectively shorter. Now, this doesn't have any frets on it. This is a fretless guitar, sometimes called a slide guitar. It has very high action. The strings are high off the neck there. Now, so I stop the string by pushing the slide into it. This little tube's called a slide. And when I push it here, it's vibrating between here and here. So it's a higher pitch. So as I'm sliding up the neck, I'm making the part that's vibrating shorter, the pitch is going up. Now, here's one of the biggest things I see with beginner cigar box guitar. They're used to pressing down all the way to the fretboard with a regular guitar with frets on it. They push down really hard on the strings. I don't push down very far at all. If you can really see this here, it's kind of backwards, but I'm not pushing down the strings aren't moving very far. I just push far enough that the string starts to ring out. Now if I just touch it and the string vibrates, it'll hit the slide and away from it, it'll kind of make a buzzing sound. If you hear that coming across on the camera there, strings are kind of buzzing. Bzzz. There's still some tone, but as the string vibrates against the slide and then away from it, there's some buzzing going on. I push down just a little bit harder. Now the strings are ringing out, they're singing. But I'm not pushing down very hard at all. I tell people, if you get that buzz sound, push down just a tiny bit harder. And the strings sing out. So it's really kind of a light touch. If you're used to playing a regular guitar with frets on it and you push down all the way to the fretboard, this feels like a very gentle touch. That was the hardest thing for me to get used to at first, was how hard do I push down. Now, some people will say, well, what's the problem if I push down further? Well, if I push down further, it's stretching the string tighter, which makes the pitch go up higher, which basically just making the guitar out of tune. There's a D chord, there's a G chord. You see, I can push that quite a bit sharp. And if I push it at an angle, some will go sharp more than others. It doesn't sound so good. So to keep it in tune, I want to push down just as the smallest amount possible. Occasionally I'll have someone who's like a real guitar player come into my booth and then push down way too hard and then tell me, well, the guitar's out of tune, you can't play it in tune. And sometimes I'll try to explain it to them, and if they argue with me, I just say, well, I'm sorry. I realize they're not going to get it, that you're the one pushing down too hard. You're pushing the strings out of tune. Another problem is you got to go straight across the strings. A lot of people, they put their hand up the guitar naturally, they're kind of like this or like that. It's at an angle. So here I have it designed to be in tune, going straight across. If I do this, that one's quite a bit flat because the way the angle is, that string is a little bit longer than it's supposed to be. Instead of vibrating from here to here, it's vibrating to there. So it's made the string a little bit longer, so it's dropping in pitch. So, and there are some guitar players who can really play with angling the bridge so that you can play at an angle. I don't do that. I have my bridge angled just barely, and that's to compensate because the bass string goes out of tune more than the others, so by angling a little bit it keeps it relatively in tune, but it's just barely angled. It's designed to play across straight at the frets here. Well, not the frets, but where the frets would be. It's designed to go straight across. So kind of what I do is I have my thumb like this on the backside for stability, but I'm not playing it right underneath where my finger goes. I have it kind of off to the side like that. And I kind of put my hand in this posture to where that's going straight, perpendicular there to the guitar. If I'm playing actual guitar, my hand would be more like this, fingering the notes, kind of more in that shape. So it's a little bit different shape that I use. Some people like to use different, people use their middle finger, their ring finger, their pinky finger. You can use whatever finger you want to use to slide. I just use my pointer finger, my index finger. But it's important to go straight across the strings. Try to push down flat against all three strings evenly so that they're all going to be, again, in tune and vibrating the same. Alright, so that's some of the basic things about playing the Cigar guitar. Let's show you one more thing is, I tend to slide to all my notes. If I just play open, let's say I wanted to play an A chord. A chord is right here. It's at the 7th fret. If I just go straight on, it kind of usually has kind of a crunch to it as I hit it. It sounds better if I kind of zoop up to it. I can do it pretty fast. When I'm not really here, I'm not doing a big long slide. And I can go wham up pretty quick. And now for nothing, that'll help my ear can kind of catch the exact spot where it's going to be perfectly in tune. That comes with a little bit of ear training. But it helps get that crunch. So if I play an open chord, and then I'm going to go to a chord where I'm putting the slide down, well, wherever I'm at, I don't want that crunch. So if it's a little bit, I tend to stick something straight down and I kind of zoop into it. And then from there on out, unless I'm playing open, I generally just leave the slide in contact with the strings and just move. That little bit of sliding is kind of part of the sound of the slide guitar. I slide up, round, slide down, brown, and then open. It sounds much better if I went ow, ow. That doesn't sound nearly as good. I'm crunching and pitches bending, crunching, pitches bending. When I slide up to it, it sounds much cleaner. Even though actually I'm sliding the pitch, it's going to sound better. There's kind of really two options here as far as how I'm going to use the slide. Go across all three strings. I'm going to do a single line of music, like a melody. I try to play that all on the top string. And so I'll put a little bit of an angle, so I'm just catching the top string. And again, I keep it in contact once I'm going to an open note there. Generally, I can play a lot of my melodies just on that top string. Occasionally, I go to the second string. In that case, I kind of angle in like that. There aren't really a whole lot of notes I play on the second string. Because right here, I'm already in a D, which is the open D. So I've got C sharp, C, B, B flat, A are the only notes I really would ever play on the second string, generally speaking. Then I'm down to, from there I'm down to the bottom string. Most of the melodies will fit on the top string. Occasionally I do a few notes on that second string. Again, I angle it in. That's how well it shows up on the camera. So in a flat, I angle into it. And with my slides, they aren't that long. Some people would call these stubbies. I only have 3 strings. I don't need a very long slide to play it. When I have myself, I make a few of the slides longer in case someone wants to buy one to use on their 6-string guitar. We'll make some longer ones occasionally. But the ones that I get, they work good for angling in. If I hit that second string. People ask me, how do I know where to put my fingers at? Well, I have dots on the side. These are the same dots that are on a regular guitar. If you play a regular guitar, there's a dot at the 3rd fret. Though sometimes classical guitars skip that dot. The 5th fret, the 7th fret, the 9th fret, and I have 2 dots at the 12th fret. That's the octave. So it's D again. It's an octave higher. I really don't go much beyond that. If I do, I just kind of play it by ear. And I can play this by ear somewhat. Now there are notes in between too. There's F, there's F sharp in between. At the 3rd fret there, the first dot is F. At the 5th fret, that's G. In between is F sharp, or you call it G flat, which is kind of a rare chord to hit. The notes that fall in between, I know about where to put my slide. And your ear really gets to be your guide when you play this kind of instrument. And after a short while, your ear does develop. See, I went too high. My ear picks up that, whoops, it's out of tune. I went too high. Not quite high enough. There it is. So your ear kind of ends up being your guide when you play this kind of stuff. And it's a fun instrument to play. Out there are some of the basics about at least the ones that I sell. Some guitars are a little bit differently for playing your cigar box guitar. I'm trying to have some more lessons where I show you how to play songs in the future too. People who are buying these and want to learn how to play them a little better. But that's all for this time. If you enjoy this, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.